this is a really exciting moment. You said we have 22 countries represented here, which is really good. I think one of the important things when you look at the world of remittances is to know that Africa has some of the best experiences and probably some of the most challenging experiences out there. So I think we cover a whole range of best practice to most needs of improvement. So hopefully by getting together and sharing those, we can really develop that here. I think the other thing is it's important for those who aren't based on the continent or who are perhaps not so familiar with it to always remember that Africa is actually 54 countries. It is not one country. And I think if I had a pound or a dollar or a euro for every time somebody says we're going to open something in Africa, and I say which country, and they say Africa, and then you say, well, you've got 54 countries, there's a lot of different regulatory regimes, different currencies, different environments, different cultures, different people, and so on. You really have to understand that much better. So I hope those of you who are coming from outside the continent really take the opportunity to understand that. And I guess one of the challenges for, if we say the African continent in the remittances field, is how can we create a more homogeneous environment so it's easier for businesses like those coming here today to actually be able to operate throughout the continent on a cost-effective and customer-friendly basis rather than facing too many barriers. So I will stop there but say, well done. I'm really looking forward to the next 2 days. Well, there's over 16,000 different individual corridors, and I think that's really important because we're talking about individuals sending money, and we're talking about money crossing so many different corridors. You can't just have one solution that fits all. So it's quite important that we bear in mind that whatever we have and we try and do at a sort of generic or mass market level, there's a tremendous amount of regional tailoring that is needed to be done. There's around 2 billion formal transactions happening every year, so it's a fair number. And the fees that are being charged to consumers come to around about $30 billion, which is a fair amount, and from the development agencies and government's viewpoint, there's quite a significant number. And in fact, you know, to put that 30 billion into context, that's something like a quarter of the international aid budget on a yearly basis. So it's a significant amount of money that is actually being paid by individuals to transfer their money. As the Governor said earlier, the whole model has historically been something that serves consumers and has been designed just to allow somebody to send relatively low amounts of money from point A to point B. But because we're going cross-border, we might have a minimum of 3 and probably up to 5 different entities involved in that value chain. And each of those businesses has to earn something. So it seems logical to me that unless we change the business model, this is not going to come down to those sorts of levels. The traditional companies are now changing the way they operate in many ways to bring in technology, but we've also got the entrance of some new technology providers who only operate through digital type of services, and obviously we've got blockchain and Bitcoin and so on operators as well in some parts of the world.